I'm Paul Skeldon, I'm one of the editors at TameBay, and I travel the world looking for interesting e-commerce stuff so you don't have to. I'm here in Hamburg at the ePages Commerce Summit, and I met a really interesting guy called Graham Jones to tell me all about sex and shopping and how they're one and the same thing.
Sex and shopping, who'd have thought the two go together, eh? The reason they go together is because sex produces lots of chemicals in your brain before you've even thought of having sex. Those chemicals of desire have got into your brain and made you want to have sex. And guess what? They're the same chemicals that are produced when you want to buy something, and they're produced in record time. So for a retail website, what you're going to need to do is stimulate the brain so that it's producing those hormones that arise when somebody wants to have sex, those desire hormones. And if your retail website can stimulate those desire hormones, then boy, are they going to want to buy from you. So what you're going to need to do is do the kind of things that get those hormones going. And one of the key things is that people make their mind up about things really quickly. So you make your mind up as to whether you're attracted to another person in fractions of a second. So, you know, if you've been to a social event and you see someone and you think, oh, I quite like them, that conscious decision comes a long, long time after the hormones have been produced to actually trigger that conscious decision. So what you need to do is make it so quick that people can see that when they've landed on your website, that that's exactly what they came to get. Don't give them any preamble or welcome to the website or any of that. Go straight for what they really came to buy. There are lots of websites that do it really well. So one of those, of course, is, I better mention them, hadn't I, Amazon. Yeah. And the reason that they do it really well and make it convenient for people is that they allow you to just search for what you want. Because almost everybody who goes to Amazon knows what they want to buy before they get there. So they're not browsing, they're not wandering around the aisles going, oh, you know, I might like to buy that. They've gone to buy specifically what they want, and they make it easy for them by having a big search box in the middle. So if your website has a big search box at the top in the middle, just like them, then people will be able to use your website conveniently because they know exactly what to do. They can go and find exactly what they want in an instant. Well, there are 4 other key things really that people can do apart from making the website convenient, in other words speedy for people and familiar to use, using all the kinds of things that other online shops use. But the next thing you've got to do is tell your visitor that you really like them, that you love them, that you really want them, you desire them. Because if you think about going on a date, if you went on a date and the person that you were on a date with spent the first half of the evening talking all about themselves, you've already decided you don't want to pursue the relationship because they're only interested in themselves. So if you land on a web page that's all about the company, nobody wants to know. So you've got to make it likable by showing you like them. And one key way you can do that is to have pictures on your website of the kind of typical customer you have. So if your typical customer is young, have young people. If your typical customer is elderly, have elderly people. You know, you're going to have different kinds of customers. Show them that they're the people you like by having those pictures of those people on the page. So the next thing you can do is have lots of information. And the reason you need information is because you've got all these desire hormones, yeah? So you've made it really easy for people that they really can get what they want to really quickly, that they've seen that the website is for them and for people like them. So the one side of their brain is going, oh, this is really good, this is about me and what I want. And then there's another bit of their brain which is going, but what's the risk? You know, is this going to be too expensive? Is it going to be too delayed to send it to you? You know, what are the problems? And so if you can minimize that risk, then all those kind of positive events in the brain win over those negative things. And those negative things are people not having enough information. So actually what you need for all the products that you sell is extensive, detailed information. Now people aren't going to read it all, they're not going to wade through page after page of detail, but the fact they can see that that detail is there helps their brain go, well, if I want the detail, it's there, therefore the risk is less if I come to buy it. So those good, positive feelings then win. And then the next thing that people expect is customization. They expect your website to be specifically for them, and that's because their experience on the internet is customized. Everything they do is customized. So Facebook, their Facebook page is only theirs. Doesn't look like anybody else's. Neither does their LinkedIn page, neither does their Amazon page, neither does their Google search end up with the same results as anybody else, because it's personalized to them. So if your website is then customized and personalized to each individual customer, then that would be great. Jeff Bezos, when he was launching Amazon, said if we had 4.5 million customers, we should have 4.5 million shops. He was a bit doubtful about the number of customers he was going to get, but he's got many more than that, obviously. But that's the whole point. You know, a shop is individual for people, so customize it. And then the final thing you need to do is demonstrate you really understand your world. So ASOS is a very good example of this. They're a leading fashion brand online, and they have a massive magazine, and that magazine is full of information not about their products but about the whole world of fashion. And what that does is shows that ASOS understands fashion, and that means people can trust them. And when you trust them, that's another thing that stops those negative kind of thoughts happening about should I buy from them. So those are 5 things that you've got to make your website convenient for people. You've got to show them you like them. You've got to have lots of information. You've got to customize your website, and you've got to fill it with knowledge. And that's easy to remember because that spells the word click. And if you do all of that, then your customers will click with you and they'll fall in love with your products.